Well, I'm joined now from Washington by Michael Scheuer, a senior CIA operations officer until 2004. His 22 years at the agency included running the Osama bin Laden tracking unit. Michael Scheuer, on the one hand, you've got the Islamic State video. On the other, you've got the US saying that they've launched 20 more airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. To put it bluntly, who's winning?
We're being beaten hands down, ma'am. The United States and the West and its allies are just being beaten to death everywhere, in Africa, in Iraq, in Syria, in Afghanistan. It really is it's a sad situation, but we've never been able to beat anyone with air power, and we've proven conclusively that we're unable to train foreign armies to defend themselves. So we're in a real fix, I think.
So you're saying send in Western ground troops then?
No, ma'am. I think back away from the whole thing. The thing was ideal when IS was advancing on Baghdad because Sunnis were killing Shias. That's exactly what we need. We've proven that we're just militarily incompetent, or that the military is so shackled by its political leaders that it can't defeat these people. But our best hope right now really is to get the Sunnis and the Shias fighting each other and let them bleed each other white.
There's no hope of that happening, though, is there? I mean, President Obama has talked about being involved in this war for many years.
No, Mr. Cameron and Mr. Obama and most Western leaders seem to love the idea of us being bled to death by them rather than the other way around. You know, and we have the problems that have been created by multiculturalism and diversity in our own countries. In Europe more severely than ours, but it's coming our way too.
OK, let me just take you away from the ground war and into the intelligence war, because the former MI6 boss has said today you can't have no-go areas on the internet, that you've got to monitor innocent people's traffic on the web. Is that where you stand?
No, ma'am, not at all. I stand on if we have the gumption to destroy whatever it takes to be destroyed to prevail. But what's happening now is exactly what Osama bin Laden said would happen in 2004, that the West does not have the courage, nor the determination, nor the patience to defeat them. And over time, what the West will do, and especially the United States and Britain, is choke their own civil liberties to death.
But you can see his point, can't you, that if you don't track the internet, you're not going to be able to win this battle.
Oh, you can win it, ma'am. It just takes our childlike leaders need to understand that the only way to win a war is by killing the enemy until he and his supporters don't think the candle is worth it anymore. And we haven't learned that lesson. We ran away from Afghanistan after suffering 2,600 dead. Each one of those a tragedy, but certainly not a large percentage of our armed forces. Well,
the former MI6 boss had a bit of a sideswipe at your ex-employers, the CIA, becoming involved in lethal operations. Do you think the CIA's primary purpose should be to kill the enemies of America or to protect American citizens by gathering intelligence?
Of course we shouldn't be the main agency that's killing the enemy, but that's the way it's been since 1995, ma'am. As long as British prime ministers and French presidents and American presidents don't use their military for what it is trained to do, that is to kill the enemy in extraordinary numbers, they devolve the responsibility for defense onto the intelligence services. And to be able to do that, which I don't think is possible, but to have a chance to do that, intelligence services will need authorities, lethal and other, that they very seldom have ever had in history.
Michael Scheuer, thank you very much for joining us.